Filming? Is this live? Hello everybody, and welcome to a combo edition of the Monday Morning Minute. It's both a Magic Box edition and Magic Curtain edition. The Magic Curtain is full of Mohawk colors. The Magic Box full of Mohawk swatches. Before we get going on the Mohawk, and I am going to do it this week, I want to just say thank you very briefly to all the stories and things that you sent in last week about the skunks. I think I'm going to do a series just on skunks. I got so much feedback, it's overwhelming. So thanks very much for that. We heard one person squirted crazy glue in his eye and had to go to the hospital for 2 days. And then somebody else had 2 dogs sprayed the same week and all that stuff, tomato juice, the whole routine. So it was really good. Thanks so much for that. I do want to point out real quickly that when I was firing that stuff underneath the deck, I wasn't trying to poison the skunks. I read somewhere, ironically, that skunks are very sensitive to smell, and I thought that I would try and get rid of them with smell instead of them trying to get rid of us with smell. So anyway, that's why I was doing that. And okay, Mohawk, before we get going, I just want to make it clear that when you're thinking about Mohawk, think of Ariva. We have access to more Mohawk grades than any other merchant in Canada, so something to keep in mind. It's a very extensive line, and you may wonder why I'm presenting it all now, but I thought it might be a good time for your end users to show it to their customers, to welcome them back with something different, something premium, something kind of nice, so why not now? Anyway, here we go. What I'm going to do, because it is such a broad line, is just go through one swatch and tell you about the features and benefits of the swatch, and then I'll just touch on all the other grades at the same time. So this one's Strathmore, it doesn't matter which one it is, they're all the same. So you open it up, it's got a little blurb right here, tells you a little bit about the line and what it's good for and all that kind of stuff. Then you open that up, and it's got all the colors here on both sides, and then you flip one up after you choose a color, and it tells you what on the color swatch, which of the finishes that is available in. And so you've got all the colors, and it tells you whether or not they're digital or not. And then you've got all the finishes, and then you've got all the weights. So then you're flipping through what they call their browse section, and you come across one, in this case Wove. You turn that over, and it says what is special about Wove. And it gives you a little bit more information about that specific lineup of paper. And then you go to the very back, where it says details, the very back, there it is. And this one tells you, here's my marker, that's why I couldn't find it. It tells you whether or not it is good, again, for digital or not. It talks about the digital print guarantee. It tells you whether or not it's got envelopes to match what's inside. It gives you an idea whether or not they have a watermark on each one, and if they do, where it is. And it also talks about pre-press and things like that. You turn that page, it's got a section for each product within the entire swatch, and it gives you the weight and GSM of each one. And then it talks about the approximate caliper. It gives you brightness, it gives you opacity, it gives you PPI, pages per inch, and it also gives you the Sheffield, which is the smoothness of the sheet. The lower the number, the smoother the sheet. And then the very, very back is all the environmental attributes of each particular grade line. So that is the swatch. I'm going to start with this one because it's Strathmore and I got it in my hand. Strathmore at one time, years ago, was its own mill. And it was always one of my favorite sheets of paper because it just had a feel to it. It was just a tactile. It felt rich and luxurious or something like that. I always liked right from the very beginning. And they had an old slogan then. It was Strathmore. You can feel it with your eyes. I thought that was awesome. I think it just so describes the sheet. So this is great for premium printing. It's also great for premium stationery packages. It's one of the few grades left that have a decal edge in their pastel lineup. And when I was younger, I never knew how they made the decal edge. And then one time I was on a mill trip, back when we did mill trips, and you see the paper come off the roll, and then it goes onto the wire and it shakes like this and gets rid of all the water and starts to dry. And as it gets closer to the drying end, it dries more, and there's a knife there that cuts it for the smooth edge paper. But with the decal edge, there's a jet of water, and it streams down and cuts the paper like that, and that's what makes that decal wavy edge. So I thought that was kind of cool. That is Strathmore. Next up is Superfine. Superfine is the premium grade within the entire lineup. It's known throughout the industry and has a reputation for dependability, for reliability, consistency, and uniformity. Not too many colors. In fact, it's all whites, but it prints so well. It's super fun. Next up is Loop. Loop is the environmentally sound product within the Mohawk lineup. Everything within the lineup, or almost everything rather, is either 50 or 100% post-consumer. The ones that aren't 50 or 100% are 30% post-consumer. It's made with wind power, it's FSC, and it comes carbon neutral right from the mill. That's Loop. Next up, we've got Mohawk Options and Navajo. This has got the exclusive ink swell surface treatment on it. And what that is, it gives you the tactile feel of an uncoated sheet, but it gives you the print and the dot density of a coated sheet on press. It really does look like a coated sheet when you print it. Prints, seriously, very beautifully. That's Options and Navajo. And next up is one that you probably are most familiar with, and that's Via and Carnival. It is the most economical, it is the most extensive lineup of text paper pretty much in the market in Canada. It also has a duplex, not too many of them left. It's got a blue on white and it's got a black on white. It's also got a whole bunch of really kind of bright and cheery colors, if you will. That's Via and Carnival. And we're getting near the end here. And this is Skytone. I'm going to open it up real quick because it is a parchment paper and it does it's nice to see it. It's got a few colors like that, 60, 80 pound text, 65 pound cover. It's great for certificates, it's great for diplomas, things like that. That's Skytone. And last, but certainly not least, is Key Color. This is a swatch that it comes in. It's kind of a nippy little box. This is the paper. There's one finish, there's two weights, one text, one cover. That's it. But there's 43 colors. 43. So now, do we stock all these? No, we don't. I don't think anybody does. But they are available to us because Ariva has access to more Mohawk than any other merchant in Canada. That's the Mohawk lineup. Some really nice stuff in there, but not as good and not as nice as the bad joke of the week. I heard somebody ask a pioneer. I heard somebody ask a pirate one time, "What do you pay for those ear piercings?" And he goes, "A buccaneer." That's it. I'll see you next week.